Anyway, nice to get his thoughts ahead of the game. The players have come out. The national anthem's about to be played. I think it's fair to say the singing of the Tartan Army bore no relation to the playing of the music, but I think you got the message there. That was Flower of Scotland, now the Cypriot national anthem. Spain have already won in Group A this evening, a 7-1 victory in Georgia. They have moved on to 6 points. Scotland, 4 wins out of 4, hoping to make it 5 out of 5. More to come later from Willie Miller and Craig Levine. Right now, live here on Sportsound on BBC Radio Scotland, commentary from Larnaca with Stephen Thompson and Liam McLeod.
Thanks, Richard. Good evening. It's time to get back on the ride as Scotland look to pick up another 3 priceless points as they continue to make, so far, a seamless move towards next summer's European Championship finals in Germany, the draw for which is at the start of December. Work to do, though, before they can contemplate that, as the Scotland players break away, having shaken hands with their Cypriot opponents. Scotland with a 100% record in this group. They have a 100% record in previous meetings with Cyprus as well. Coming into this one, some have been more convincing wins than others. This is the 9th meeting. Scotland winning all 8, scoring 27 to the concession of just 6. And of course, they opened qualifying Group A with that 3-0 success back in March. Scott McTominay adding a couple of late goals to beef up the scoreline. And just one last chance for the players to get amongst each other. Just now, some final words being said. Scotland all in navy blue tonight. Cyprus all in white with blue flashes. And what is a muggy old night in Larnaca here in the Eastern Mediterranean. The Scots lining up with Angus Gunn in goal. Back 3 there of Porteous, Hendry and Tierney. Hickey and Robertson wide. Gilmour and McGregor in the middle with McTominay and McGinn ahead of them. And behind, Shea Adams, who replaces the slightly unfit Lyndon Dykes for this one. Timuri Kitsbaya had a pop at the Cypriot supporters for not coming out to get behind the team in their last home match, which was against Georgia. Here it was a narrow defeat. They were outnumbered that night. They are outnumbered to some tune this evening. There are Scotland flags all the way around the stadium. I'm not even sure what was the dedicated away section, if I'm being perfectly honest, as the Scots prepare to take centre. The first kick of the ball then will be from Billy Gilmour, as Scotland look to move that bit closer to the finals. They are tantalisingly close right now. As we watch from the main stand, we're up behind the Cypriot technical area. Not a good night for Kitsbaya so far, the Cyprus manager. He's a Georgian legend, of course. In that short spell at Dundee under Ivano Benetti, a couple of decades ago. He stands and waits, hands on hips, as everyone waits for the Hungarian referee to get things underway. We are a little bit early. There we go now. That's the first kick of the ball from Gilmore. Back to Porteous, who hits it long with the right over to that left-hand side, but it's over the head of Adams and out for a throw-in to Cyprus, who have rung the changes tonight. He brought a few players into the squad who weren't involved at all in the June matches. Cyprus were beaten in the last game in Oslo by Norway just a few days after Scotland. Sensational come from behind victory there, as that's bowled back by Jack Hendry, now of course playing his football in the Saudi Pro League under Steven Gerrard. As that's played short to Porteous. Back to Jack Hendry, 23rd cap for him tonight, the centre point of that back triumvirate for the Scots. Long ball by Porteous down this near side. Adams gives chase, but it will be seen behind for the throw-in by Konstantinos Laifis over on this near side. It'll be a Cyprus throw-in. The first thoughts of Stephen Thompson.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously Cyprus have got a point to prove this evening, having taken 0 points out of the group so far. It is their home game. You expect they'll make it difficult for us. I just hope that we can get an early goal to settle us down.
And the ball's being popped through there towards the main striker for the Cypriots tonight, Sotiriou, who skippers the team as well. Plays his football in the top flight in Japan with Hiroshima. Long ball is cleared by the Scots, out for a Cypriot throw-in though, over on that far side of it, midway inside their own half. And it will be taken by the right wing back Minas Antoniou into the midfield. It will drop to Hickey, nods it back to the goalkeeper. Gunn comes to the edge of his box and clears it up high into the air, and then will drop down onto the chest on this near side of Roberts, but he can't control. McTominay takes over, he's fouled. Free kick down on this near side for the Scots, and the dramatic waving of the arms by the referee.
It was very panto, but yeah, good play from McTominay, taking it, driving it, committing two of the Cypriot midfielders, and a clear foul.
Billy Gilmore plays it short to Hickey on this near side. Back to Gilmore. He's on the turn, just right of the centre circle, rolls it back into his own half, where Jack Hendry will pick it up. Under no real pressure at the moment. He just turns it to his left for Tierney to McGinn, and now with Callum McGregor, he seemed to be back to his best in the weekend derby victory over Rangers at Ibrox.
Yeah, it was immense in the opening 45 minutes, Liam. It really was. Absolutely ran the show.
If you want to beat Celtic, you need to nullify Callum McGregor, and if you don't do that, you're in trouble.
Correct.
That was the situation on Sunday. It's picked up by Scotland, just rolled by Tierney to Gilmore. Looks long, looking for Hickey to chase after it. There's too much on it though. It comes right through to the goalkeeper Joel Mal of Servette.
Yeah, it was the right idea. Hickey's movement's good, out to in, but just slightly overhit from Billy Gilmore. And despite it being quite a dry night, the pitch isn't going to play dry. It's very short grass, and they have been watering it, so the ball will roll through it.
There's a flick from Robertson, can't quite find a teammate over on the far side, the attacking third, so Cyprus pick up, and it's booted forward by Kyriakou, one of the centre backs, and then Andreas Caro completes the clearance, but John McGinn picks up the loose ball on the far side. He's managed to shield it out for a Scotland throw-in, which Kieran Tierney's going to take. And just to mark your card, Tomo, the scoreboard over there on the far side is 2 minutes behind. And
the other thing is our monitor's about 15 seconds behind. So at least we're not behind.
Goalless in the very early stages here as Tierney sweeps it all the way back to Angus Gunn, who's only conceded that one goal since coming into the squad, and it was that Erling Haaland penalty in Oslo. Need to concede from open play. Long ball for the Scots. Adams then touches it back into the midfield for Gilmore. First time ball down the left for Robertson. He's going to get there, looking for options in the middle. Cross is poor though from Andy Robertson, most unlike him as he balloons it over the bar. McTominay appreciative of the idea. The execution was off from Andrew Robertson. We don't see that terribly often. It's 0-0.
No, we don't. It's a really poor cross from Andy Robertson, but the build-up play was superb. The ball into Shea Adams, his first touch, layoff into Gilmore, whose first time pass is of the highest quality, setting Andy Robertson free down the left hand side. McTominay had burst himself to get into the box at the back post. You're expecting him just to hang it up, but gets across all wrong.
They're fast forwarding the clock just now over on the far side to bring it into real time.
That's a first.
Good on them. At least they're doing something about it. Long ball by Cyprus is going to come right through to Gunn. Comes to the edge of his box and then rolls it forward. He's managed a couple of clean sheets for Norwich City so far this season. And he's back on the ball here and plays it short to Porteous. It's the Watford defender. Big cross-field pass finds Tierney, controls well, and then clips it forward with the left foot, looking for Shea Adams to get onto it. Covering across for Cyprus was Lifeis. And he can only put it out for a Scotland throw-in, which is taken quickly. Down the left-hand side, Robertson, two waiting in the middle. McGinn and McTominay, in comes the cross. McGinn's header, and McTominay's there! McTominay scores yet again! In this dream qualifying campaign, the cross comes in from the left. It was perfect for McGinn to flick on for McTominay at the back post, and he makes no mistake, bulleting the header into the empty net. In the 6th minute of the game, it's the perfect start. It is Cyprus 0, Scotland 1.
It was brilliant, it really is. I mean, Andy Robertson's movement, first of all, to run for the throw-in, sets him free down the left-hand side. Only a minute ago his cross-in was poor. This time his cross is perfect. He picks out John McGinn just about 6 yards out. Believe you me, John McGinn was trying to score, claps his header. Thankfully it goes to McTominay, who's at the back post and nods home from only a couple of yards. Yeah, Liam, the perfect start indeed.
It's incredible. Scott McTominay's goal return in this campaign has been absolutely outstanding. That is 6 in 5 matches in this group. It's a phenomenal return. He's barely been playing. He's barely played for Manchester United this season. A brief substitute appearances, his lot. But he's in the right area again, and he's come up with another huge goal for Steve Clarke's team on this road to Euro 2024.
Yeah, I mean, his timing of runs into the box is excellent, and he really has. He's got the energy to be back defending, and then, 10 seconds later be hitting the opposite box. Really good run into the box, but it all comes from Andy Robertson's vision from the throw-in to make the run down the line. It's a superb run. The throw's good, but the cross is pinpoint for John McGinn.
He only had one international goal coming into this campaign. That was that dramatic late winner against Israel in the World Cup qualifiers a couple of years ago. But he has hit the goal trail and some in this tournament, so he's up to 7 in a Scotland shirt as it's picked up over on the left, but given away by Robertson. Cyprus pick up the scraps down the right hand side of the Scotland box. A really good slide challenge by Gilmour to win it back as it's played to Robertson, up the line to Hickey, and now picked up on, or by Tierney rather, into the midfield. It goes to McTominay, stretching his legs and hauled to the ground. Out will come the yellow card as well for the Cyprus number 7, Anderson Correa.
It's just the most blatant yellow card I think you'll ever see. It's good play from Scotland, working it into McGinn. He finds the run of McTominay, who again accelerates past his midfield marker. Brilliant running with the ball, so strong with the ball. Very cynical foul. Referee given no option really other than to give the yellow card. Scotland win this game, it moves them on to 15 points. 14 points was enough for Wales to qualify for Euro 2020 directly from their group. They finished second. 14 was enough. 5-team section like Scotland are in here. Free kick then for Callum McGregor. It was just taken short to him. He just plays it to Gilmour, then out to this near side for Hickey. Rolls it back to Gilmour. Cyprus with everyone behind the ball. Gilmour's ball forward is deflected up into the air. That allows Cyprus to head clear. And now it's picked up just to the left of the centre circle, and the long ball out to the right hand side for Kyriakou to get onto, and he's in space. Scotland had committed numbers forward. In comes the cross, and off the bar! Off the bar from Sotiriou, met it 6 yards out. Scotland get away with one there, and in particular Andy Robertson, who surrendered the possession in the first place. But this is a really good ball in from that right hand side by Kyriakou, and they're really unfortunate. Sotiriou was on the end of it. Yes, Sotiriou should score. He really should score. I mean, it's poor from Scotland. They've got a set play. They try to work something, it doesn't come off, and when they're countered upon defensively, they're all over the place. It's good play from Cyprus, switching it out to the right, a really quick counter. When that ball comes into the box, it's missed by the first player, but then Sotiriou should really be putting that in the back of the net. But we're lucky there, and that was really kind of lax from us, from our own set play, 30 yards from goal.
1-0 Scotland if you're just joining us. We're in the 10th minute of the game in Larnaca, but here come the Cypriots again. Just outside the box is another shot, Angus Gunn's goal, which he holds on to, this time from Castanos. arguably Cyprus's best player. He caught it well enough, but it was a comfortable save. Low to the right for Gunn, who holds on.
Just again, it opened up for him. He found himself in space, probably a good 25 yards out. He doesn't really get enough behind it or enough angle on it, and it's a save you'd expect Angus Gunn to make. He makes it comfortably.
Short ball Hickey back to Gilmore. Scotland in the Cyprus half now. Dinked ball to the left there for Tierney, who controls and rolls it to his left for Robertson. Back to Kieran Tierney, who of course playing with Real Sociedad in La Liga, on loan from Arsenal. Long ball, he's unlucky. He was looking for Robertson. It just skips away from him though, and goes behind for the goal kick to the home team. It stays 1-0 Scotland.
Andy Robertson is just so keen to get forward in that left wing back area, and again the ball was the right ball, but it's going to just skip through. It's got to just be a wee bit shorter if you're playing it over the top, but Andy Robertson's willingness to get into those positions is brilliant for us.
Correa just shifting it forward to Charalampous, and then Cyprus had awarded a free kick for a foul by McGinn, I think it was, on Kusolos.
Yeah.
Free kick taken short by Roberge, who gets it back immediately, then it's rolled into the middle there for Leifes, out to the right hand side. It goes for Caro. No pressure, decides to go back the way, and it's with Leifes again, turns it to the left hand side for Valentin Roberge, who collects on this near side touchline right in front of his manager. Charalampous picks up in the midfield, under pressure from Gilmore, finds Correa, and back into the midfield for Kusulos, who's a goal scorer against Scotland in the past. Scored at Hampden in what was Steve Clarke's first match in charge in June 2019. And it's the Cypriots continuing to enjoy some decent possession since conceding. They've lost it in the midfield. Callum McGregor, and then to Hickey. Now back to Porteous, to McGregor, and then to Hickey on this near side. Steve Clarke down there just walking around his technical area, surveying what's going on in front of him. He'll be absolutely delighted to have got that early goal. 12 in, 1-0 his team leads.
He will be delighted. It's a great start for us. However, he will be concerned at how easily we were countered. And Cyprus really should have scored from that. We've not really had a large spell of controlled possession yet in the game, and you're right, Cyprus since they conceded, they've actually started to grow in confidence, which you'd expect would have been the other way around.
It was a 7-1 win for Spain in Tbilisi earlier on as they put Georgia to the sword. It will be Scotland's next group match in Seville against Spain next month. Here comes Cyprus, down the right hand side they come. Kriakou chasing, but Tierney does the job, wins it back, pumps it forward into the centre circle area where it's nodded forward by Roberge. Now moved out to this left hand side for Correa again, the Brazilian born Cyprus left wing back wearing the number 7. Back it comes to Charalampous, and then into the centre circle for Leifes. Just stepping away down the right goes Caro. He's away from McGinn, rolls it infield. Opportunity here again for the Cypriots. It's just wide. Fabulous strike there by Castanos again. Tested Gunn earlier, and I'm not sure if that's on target for the bottom right corner, if Gunn's going to get onto it. It stays 13 in, Cyprus 0, Scotland 1.
No, he's definitely not saving that if it's on target. It's an incredible hit, and it's only inches by his left-hand post, and that's twice he's picked the ball up in space behind our midfielders and managed to get a shot off. He is playing as a kind of number 10 if you like, but we've got to be more aware than that. That's, you're giving possibly Cyprus's best player 5 yards of space to get a shot off, and that's 2 in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, a little bit worrying for Steve Clarke. They've had 3 opportunities. They've hit the bar. Gunn has made a save, and that one just flashed wide of the goal frame just to the right hand side. Scotland have a throw in over there on the Scottish left to be taken by Tierney. Bowls it forward looking for Robertson. Cutout comes off the head of McGregor. Robertson helps it on its way. Left hand side of the box for Adams. Poor touch from Shea Adams as he just passes it straight out of the pitch. Not sure exactly what he was intending on doing there. It looked like initially he was trying to control it and it kind of bounced off him.
I'm not sure he knew what he was doing either. It was just a wee moment of madness.
He just got away from him and out for a Cyprus throw-in over on the far side. They've given it away though. McGinn to Robertson. McGinn over on the far side, rolls it back down the touchline for Tierney. Infield for Gilmore. Good skill to shuffle away from Sotiriou, who brings him down. Scotland have a free kick about 6 or 7 yards away from that far side touchline as they attack the goal to the right.
Really quick feet from Billy Gilmore, getting himself out of a tricky situation. Again, a bit of a cynical hack, but no yellow card this time. Another set play in roughly the same position that we had the one that they countered on and hit the bar with. Hopefully we do better with this one.
Clock strikes 10 p.m. local time in Larnaca as Robertson prepares to take this. 15 into the match, 1-0 Scotland. In comes the free kick. Henry knocks it down. Porteous is there! And he smashes it home! Ryan Porteous with his first international goal, and what a huge one it could be as Scotland make this seamless march towards Euro 2024. Looks so simple. Porteous smashing home, and it's Cyprus 0, Scotland 2 in Larnaca. A sensational start.
Brilliant. I should have asked you this before the game. Is there VAR at the game? There is, because I think Henry was climbing when he wins the header. And if there is, they'll definitely look at it. But for me, I think Henry was all over the top of the player that was marking him as he nodded it down into the path of Porteous, who does really well with the finish. But for me, I think there is a possible foul from Henry. In the
well, the Cyprus players are all round referee Berka, the Hungarian, as they appeal for this goal to be chopped off. We shall wait and see. The official review will be going on just now.
Sorry, Liam, I'd be amazed if this wasn't given as a foul.
He's used the defender as leverage there, hasn't he? But Luke says, he's given it.
Oh well, we'll take it.
2-0. Tomo's wrong.
Again. It looked at. I mean, to me, it looked at. But I'm clearly delighted that it isn't. And at 2-0, got to say that is the best possible start. I don't think we've played as well as we have done in the campaign so far. But we're 2-0 up.
Well, Cyprus have got in behind 3 times. They've had a couple of really good chances, obviously hitting the crossbar, but none of that matters because it didn't find the net, and Scotland have done so twice. And what a good moment for Ryan Porteous, personally, that is. Slid down on his knees in front of the Scotland fans over on that far side, having given his team a 2-0 lead here in the campaign of dreams.
Yeah, I mean, it's just exactly what you would want coming into this game, to be less than 20 minutes into the match and to be 2-0 up without having played your best. Porteous, since he's come into the side, has really settled ever so well, and that will do his confidence the world of good.
Free kick Cyprus on the right. It's a long hanging high ball into the box which beats everyone and goes out of play down by the corner flag, and it's gone behind for the goal kick to Scotland, who lead this match by 2-0. This is Sports Sound of BBC Radio Scotland, across the frequencies, on digital, online at bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland as well. It's funny, I was talking to some colleagues south of the border today, Stephen, as Hickey turns back towards his own penalty area under pressure from Charalampous, and he moves it back to Porteous. He'll just rifle it away into touch for a Cyprus throw. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but Scotland are getting this really nice knack of winning matches they're not necessarily playing well in. Like some of the bigger nations, we've seen England, through that these kind of winning runs together whilst not playing particularly well.
Yeah, I would agree. Certainly that was the case in Norway. Norway was our worst performance of the group so far, but we managed to find a way to win it, and that's what this team does. And because we've been winning so many games and we've got that momentum and belief, we believe we're going to win games before we've even started them, and we never give up. So it's a great thing to have that.
Yeah, the problem is if you're up against those tier 1 nations, you probably don't get away with the opportunities that Cyprus have missed this evening, and in particular Sotirio. Harry Kane puts that away, doesn't he?
He does.
Cyprus in possession in the centre circle. It's rolled out to this left-hand side for Roberts, up against McTominay. He rolls it back to his goalkeeper, and Joe Mal, the edge of his box, knocks it forward with the left foot. Porteous with the header forward for McTominay. His header towards McGregor's cut out, but they won it back momentarily. But Charalampous picks up the loose ball, now drives towards the final third. His pass is blocked by McGregor though, and then it's played by Gilmour to McGinn over on the left, and he just shepherds it out to Robertson, and then to McGregor, to Robertson, and back to Tierney. Cyprus 0, Scotland 2, 19 played.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder whether or not they've spoken about before the game that, because of the heat and the conditions, that if you can take this thing out of the game, do it at times. Because when John picked that ball up, you'd see him take it forward. He loves driving with the ball, but he turned out, and now Scotland are just popping it across the back and just keeping possession. Whilst the heat's still quite intense, then you're not wasting energy. And you can do that when you're 2-0 up, of course. You don't need to go forward.
It's good match play when you consider the conditions. Long ball towards Robertson's headed away down that right-hand side by Antoniou. Collected by McGregor, short to McGinn into the Cyprus half for McTominay. Adams trying to stay onside. McTominay wanted too long on the ball though, and has it nicked off him, and actually he's fouled his man as well. It was Roberge he's brought down, and that will be a free kick to the home team.
Yeah, again, McTominay getting it and driving, using his pace, driving at the defenders. He just overran it. He should have probably released it to Adams, but Adams had gone offside, so if he had done, it would have been offside, and just overran it and eventually just given the foul away.
It's with Roberge for Cyprus, midway inside his own half. Correa on the touchline, he elects to go long, looking to get it in behind Jack Hendry, who covers back really well, just glided into position to snuff out the threat of Sotiriou.
It's good to have somebody with his pace in the back line as well. He's really, really quick, is Jack Henry. So you know that you don't have to worry too much if something does go over the top, that he's going to be able to mop it up just exactly as he did there.
He'll be used to these conditions just now.
I certainly will. Sure. That's for sure.
Al Ettifaq in the Saudi Pro League and left Club Bruges. Here's Tierney bombing forward across halfway, rolls it to Robertson. Robertson turns. Was he brought down? Yes, he was. Here's the referee. Free kick to Scotland over on that far side, right in the touchline, taken quickly by McGregor. And now Gilmore back into the centre circle for Porteous. The Scots go for the kill here. 2-0 up. Third goal would surely sort it all out.
Third goal ends it. It's always a funny scoreline, 2-0, because if the opposition get a goal back, then it's game on for them again. But if Scotland can manage to get a third, certainly before half-time, would be really nice.
Nice play between McGregor, Gilmore and Adams. McGregor has it. Going back the way here though, Hickey into his own half for Hendry. The Scotland supporters appreciative of that passing move, and it's still underway here. Tierney's low ball in's cut out into the penalty area it came, but it pops out of the box and Kiriakou has it. Passes it back eventually. It arrives back in the midfield. McGregor finds Gilmore, who moves it all the way back to Gunn, and he plays it short to Hendry. And now it's with Porteous, knocking on the end of the first quarter of this qualifier in Group A, match day 5 for Scotland. Here's McTominay looking for McGregor. McGregor driving forward, looking for options in the middle. In comes the challenge, looked a good one. Might be a goal kick as well, though he has given a corner, albeit it looked like the final touch might well have come off Callum McGregor. It was Roberge who is adjudged to put it behind for the corner.
Great pass from McTominay to release McGregor. He looked up and nobody was in the box. I think John was trying to break into the box, but he didn't have a clear option to hit, so he tries to drive on, and then the defender gets back, gets the tackle. And I agree with you, I thought it might have been a bye kick, but corner to us, we'll take it.
And Billy Gilmore out on this near side to take it. And Scotland right as they attack the goal to the right. And he's considering the short option to McGregor, but he's been closed down by Castanos. He has eventually passed it to McGregor, who finds McGinn. The reverse ball to Gilmore. Lovely touch by Gilmore in the box. Looking for space to shoot perhaps. Down he goes. Cyprus clear. They just had too many around him. And Cyprus batter the ball clear, but McGinn wins it back. So strong. It's his trademark as he flips it with the left foot into the left of the centre circle. And now Scotland can come forward again with Aaron Hickey. He's popped up on the left. Of course, he's more than comfortable there as well. Over on that side, he's now reverting to the right as Robertson finds Adams over on that far side, and then it's passed back to Kieran Tierney.
Yeah, it was a well-worked set play from the corner kick. They knew exactly what they were doing when it went through to Billy Gilmore. He just couldn't get set. Robertson
with the ball in. It's easily cut out by Caro, and out for a Scotland throw-in just beyond the midway point of the Cyprus half. Over on that far side.
They always do try and be inventive from their set plays. I suppose it helps when you've got a professional set play
Austin McPhee's there,
coach on the bench, who's obviously Aston Villa's set play coach as well, and you always expect him to come up with something, and that was well worked. Just couldn't fall for Billy Gilmore to get his shot away.
It just didn't settle for him. Scotland have a throw-in level with the edge of the D of the Cyprus box, taken by Tierney. Adams tried to flick it towards Gilmore, but it was read pretty well by Kasoulos. Cyprus get it away from the 18-yard line, battered right up the pitch into the centre circle. It was good hold-up play initially there by Sotiriou. He's having a look at the referee. He's wanting a free kick. It's not coming as Robertson takes over for Scotland, finds McGinn, back to Robertson. Tried the nutmeg, on the defender Antoniou, and it goes out off him and out for a Scotland throw-in, about level with the Cyprus penalty spot.
Last 5 minutes have been better for Scotland. We've had a bit more control in the game, certainly playing more in Cyprus's half. Probably our best spell of the game, really, in terms of possession and territory.
It's actually a bit level with the 6-yard line in the end. Tierney is over it. Robertson and McGinn both want it. Gets it to McGinn, works it straight back to Tierney, who moves it back to McGregor. McGregor with the left foot, low into the centre circle for Porteous. It's goals from McTominay and Porteous, the Scots sitting in the box seat here. Not just in this game tonight, match day 5 for them, but in this group, in this section. They're looking at hitting the 15-point mark after those 5 matches. Picture perfect. As Hickey gets it from McTominay, who goes down, no free kick. As Hickey rolls it back into zone half for Porteous. Tamuri Kitsbaya down there, he's cutting a frustrated figure. What a player he was.
He was. Some player. You know, it's interesting listening before the game, he's wanting more Cypriot fans to come to the game. I mean, this is basically a Scotland home game.
Yeah.
You can only see Scotland fans.
Yeah, there's some Cypriots off to our right,
Yeah.
there's some in the main stand here, but I mean, it's Saltire Central all the way from the left, as long as you look all the way right round the stadium up to that far side. It's incredible to see. Scotland always so well supported. The Tartan Army always enjoy the trips. Now they're getting the results to go with them. And as Hickey under pressure, and Correa goes back onto the halfway line and rolls it back to Porteous. Side football to McGregor in the centre circle. He turns and finds McGinn. Those midfield players have seen more and more of the ball the longer this game goes on. And that's a good thing from a Scottish point of view. McGregor to Gilmour, back to Callum McGregor, now Porteous. He's got Hickey out on this near side. Hickey looking for a bit of movement, gets it from McTominay down the right hand side of the box. McTominay looks up, his cross comes in, it's blocked. Breaks back to Hickey. Callum McGregor takes the touch in the box, but it just got away from him. Looked like it might settle inside the D, and McGregor would surely have had a shot and goal, but Cyprus have managed to get it clear. Next goal's crucial in this game, should there be any. And Sotiriou collects and rolls it to the right hand side, looking for Charalampous, but it's going to come all the way through to Andy Robertson, who'll chaperone the ball behind for a goal kick to the Scots. And after 27, it stays Cyprus 0, Scotland 2.
It's another really good move from Scotland down the right hand side this time. Hickey getting set free with the pass, and then just lays it a wee bit too far in front of Callum McGregor. He has to stretch for it. If he'd just taken a wee bit off the pass, Callum McGregor could have stepped on to 18 yards out and had a shot, but the pass was just a wee bit too far in front of him. But it's been a good spell for us this last 5, 6, 7 minutes.
Andy Robertson from the far side touchline, back in field for Hendry, and now it's with Porteous. He finds Hendry and he rolls it to his left for Tierney. Forward to McGinn, first time ball, brilliantly done, out to Adams on the left hand side. Che Adams trying to get the better of the defender, he's done just that, but it had just gone over the line, unfortunately for Adams, as he burrowed his way into the Cypriot box, and that goes out for a throw-in to the hosts over on the far side. 2-0 Scotland, 28 on the clock.
It was a clever wee ball from John McGinn round the corner, wasn't it, to Che Adams, but he was right on the byline after he took his touch, and then you could tell from here and we're the other side of the stadium that it was out.
Gilmour's header back into his own half for Hendry, nods it forward to Gilmour, under pressure to go back to Hendry up into the air, doesn't get too much purchase on it. Porteous comes to help him out with a header into the Cyprus half, where it's met by Caro, who puts it out for a Scotland throw-in over on the far side.
All a bit untidy, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's got a bit scrappy in the last few minutes. As Tierney picks up on that far side touchline, infield to Robertson. It's two alternating the role there. We know how good Tierney is in that position at left wing back, as well as Robertson, two world-class operators in that position. Scotland on the attack, forward to Hickey, he's very advanced, out to the right for McTominay. Adams and Hickey looking for a pass, McTominay into the box, rolls it to the edge of the area, McGinn takes a touch and shoots, and scores! It's so easy here in Larnaca. John McGinn with a fabulously taken goal. The keeper didn't even move for it. He picks up inside the D, takes a touch, sizes up the goal frame and fires it home for his latest Scotland goal. A wonderful strike. He's up to 17 for his country, and it's looking nigh on impossible for Scotland not to make Germany next summer now. Surely it's done. It is Cyprus 0, Scotland 3 on the half hour.
That is a brilliant goal. Really good team goal. Worked down this right-hand side when it's squared to John McGinn on the edge of the 18-yard box. He's got one thing in his mind. He opens it up onto his favoured left foot. The pass originally in from Billy Gilmour into the feet of Hickey's brilliant. McTominay does really well cutting in the pitch, picks out John at the edge of the box. There's only one thing in his mind. It's not right in the corner, but I think the goalkeeper was kind of not set with how quickly John did it. He received it and hit the shot almost instantly. And what a return that is for John McGinn in terms of international goals from midfield. It's quite incredible.
Well, it takes him above McFadden and Robert Hamilton, and he's now just one behind Kenny Miller and two behind Ali McCoist.
Frightening, absolutely frightening. He'll get those.
There's loads.
He'll get those.
Yeah,
he'll get those.
Loads more caps to come for John McGinn.
Yeah.
He's 28. You can see him going on. Had a good few campaigns yet, that's for sure. 3-0, 3 and easy. Scotland are cruising in Cyprus. And this is the kind of fixture that was sticky in the past. Even Steve Clark knows that. He came out here and it was a 2-1 win. They were a bit fortunate because Cyprus looked to have a good goal ruled out. This was, of course, before VAR was so widespreadly used. Clipped the bar, looked like it bounced down over the line. Scotland won that one 2-1.
But we're a different animal now, Liam.
Absolutely.
We are a different animal now. We're basically a winning machine at this minute in time. And you know, it's why all these supporters that we've been talking to all week and since we've been out here are coming out here thinking, right, we'll win this easy. And you're right, in the past it might not have been the case, but here we are, 3-0 up after 30 minutes. Then, yeah, we certainly are a different team now.
Scotland have a free kick meantime for a foul on Adams just inside the Cyprus half over on that far side. And John McGinn goal surely wins the game. Surely wins the game. And all that would be left for the Scotland supporters, if they want it done in this international window, is a draw in Oslo between Norway and Georgia, albeit, given the Georgians' performance tonight, far from guaranteed that's going to happen. Here's McTominay driving forward to the edge of the box. He shoots just wide. Just wide. They're running amok here. It stays 3-0 on 32.
Again, McTominay's done this all match so far. Picks the ball up in a midfield area, drives with it. The Cypriot midfielders can't live with him. He tries to place it in the bottom corner with his left foot, and he's only a foot past the post. I mean, it's from a Cyprus point of view, it's far too easy that they're allowing McTominay to get the ball, turn and drive to the edge of their own box and get a shot off. But it's brilliant from him, and you know, from a game that could have been tricky and difficult, we're making it look very easy.
Cyprus in possession just now though, with Castanos just outside the centre circle in the Scotland half, right to centre, just try to slip it through. It's cut out again, and here comes Scotland again. Tierney to McGinn. He spots the keeper off his line. He's too high. That's that's better for the tournament that's just getting underway in France tonight. You might have managed a drop goal, 3 points for that, but that's well over the crossbar. Goal kick, stays 3-0.
Shows you what his confidence is at, though, to even take that on just now. But you're right, yeah, did not get his angles right at all there.
Scotland, South Africa, incidentally, on BBC Radio Scotland. You'll catch that, the opening match for Gregor Townsend's side at the Rugby World Cup on Sunday as part of Sunday Sports Sound. Here's McGinn, the football team. McGinn to McTominay, little flick. Gilmour looks at the goal, he shoots as well, and it's blocked by his opposite number 14, Roberge, and out for a throw into Scotland, level with the Cyprus penalty spot on this near side. It's shooting fish in a barrel right now, Tomo.
It is. Great play again. Lovely wee flick from McTominay. He's having a super match. Billy Gilmour wanting to get in on the act, has a shot from the angle around about 18 yards, but it's well blocked. But yeah, I mean, you can see the confidence flowing through the team.
He's getting to play European football with Brighton this season as well, Billy Gilmour. He has come to the fore there. The throw in from Porteous is headed clear. And then under pressure, Castanos runs into Porteous, fouled by Porteous. Free kick Cyprus down on this near side as we head towards the final 10 minutes of the first half. The opening 45, couple of nervy moments at the back for Scotland, but by and large a very decisive scoreline, 3-0 up, and still 10 minutes of a first half to play. It doesn't get much better than that at international level.
No, certainly doesn't.
Spain were 4-0 up on Georgia at half-time in that game tonight. And Cyprus, well, they play Spain in their next match on Tuesday evening. They go to Granada for that one. And Scotland are playing England. And as things stand, Norway and Georgia draw in Oslo on Tuesday night, Scotland are going to Germany, confirmed in this international window. Cyprus in possession over on that right-hand side. The cross is going to come into the box here. It's too close to Angus Gunn, though, who clutches onto it with Piros Sotiriou, the Cyprus captain and main striker, lurking around him. And it was way too close to the Scotland goalkeeper.
Confident goalkeeping. Really was.
He's been a great addition to the squad, because you were wondering, as good as Zander Clark and Liam Kelly are in the Scottish Premiership, you were wondering where the next goalkeeper was going to come from. We've had
so many good goalies over the years.
That's the problem. Marshall, McGregor and Gordon.
Oh, you go back
over
further
the last
than
2
that.
decades.
You can go back further than that.
Leighton Gorham,
yeah. So, I mean, we've been blessed with goalkeepers as a national team, but yeah, he certainly has got his international career off to a very good start, as Angus Gunn.
Long throw in. Adams gets in behind the defence here. He's now driving up towards the penalty area. Cyprus took their eye off the ball. Adams didn't. Jinks onto the right foot, and his shot's blocked. And away it goes. He's scored a few times for Southampton this season. I see Adams, he knows he should have done better there. I just wonder if he should have pulled the trigger earlier than he ultimately did. And it stays Cyprus 0, Scotland 3 in baking Larnaca.
He was desperate to get it onto his right foot, wasn't he? Probably should have hit it with his left as he was bearing down in goal. Chops back in, but then the defenders got back and made the recoveries. Had to chop again. By the time he gets his shot off, there's 2 defenders in his way. It was always going to be blocked. Again, though, as he makes the run forward, the one man bursting himself to get up along aside him was Scott McTominay, whose energy levels in this first half have been phenomenal.
Kenny Dalglish is Scotland's all-time top scorer, of course. He got to 30. John McGinby eyeing that up.
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? I know John now 28, so he'd say to himself, I've got another 4 or 5 years, maybe more, if he can stay injury free, touch wood. So yeah, you'd have your eye on that for sure.
Hendry short to Porteous, back to Hendry. Sotiriou right behind him. He passes it back to Gunn. Short ball to his right for Porteous. He clips it up towards the centre circle where Adams gets a touch, then off Gilmore, but it's come off his hand, just bounced up off his arm, and that will be a free kick to Cyprus.
Yeah, he didn't mean it. The layoff just kind of kicks up off the turf onto his left arm.
Castanos for Cyprus over on the far side, rolls it back onto the halfway line for Caro. Right foot low ball along the grass to his right, and it's picked up by Antoniou, and then moved in field for Koussoulos. Back out wide right, first time cross coming up. Here's cut out by Tierney, he's done brilliantly, and it falls kindly for Robertson. Turns to face the opposing goal, then rolls it to the left onto the touchline for McGinn, then back in field to Gilmore. McGregor under pressure just slips it to Porteous to his right, up towards the halfway line for Adams. Adams goes back the way into his own half, and McGregor finds Hendry. You'd imagine Shea Adams will be wanting to get in the score sheet, not just to help the team, but to try and dislodge Lyndon Dykes, his first choice striker. Dykes not fit enough to start the match this evening. He's listed among the subs though.
Yeah, we're keen to get a goal. You know, his goal to game ratio at national level isn't what he would like it to be. It is at club level, but if you're going to get a chance to get a goal, you think it'd be tonight against this Cyprus team. They don't look brilliant defensively, being polite.
No, and you can imagine they could be doing without the rest of this game. 3-0 down, and then they've got to go to Spain. The side at the bottom of the section as McGregor rolls it forward, looking for Hickey, overhits the pass, and behind it goes for the goal kick. Cyprus 0, Scotland 3 after 39 minutes here on Sportsound.
Yeah, and you can see there's the kind of Cypriot players, they've already half chucked it. You know, they're not moving with any great energy, they're not showing any reaction to going 3-0 down. So I'd expect Scotland to score more goals before the end of this game.
Yeah, for Cyprus, it's about pride in the shirt now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but I'm not seeing very much of that.
No.
I mean, when you're bottom of the group and you haven't won a game and you're getting beaten 3-0 after 30 minutes at home and the stadium's full of Scotland fans, then it's difficult for them.
Here they come though, the hosts, into the centre circle. They have it, where it's played by Koussoulos. To his left for Castanos, and out to the left for Correa. And he rolls it back into his own half, where it's picked up there by Roberge. And clipped out to the left-hand side of the Scotland penalty area for Castanos. Faced by Porteous. He plays it straight off the Watford defender and out for a throw-in, a bit level with the Scottish six. And it's played short to Correa, who's trying to work himself some space down by the corner flag, but can only roll it behind for the goal kick. And that kind of sums Cyprus and their evening up after 40 minutes of this one. Scotland 3-0 up.
It does a bit, yeah. It just shows you big moments in games. They had that huge chance to score. They should have scored, clipped the top of the bar. It would have given them a big lift.
Would have made it 1-1.
Yeah,
time,
yeah. But you know, I mean, we've created enough chances to be 5-0 up, never mind 3-0 up. We've been unlucky by a couple of them.
Hickey up the line for McTominay. Across the halfway he goes, driving down the right hand side. He's a brilliant athlete, McTominay, as he tries to hold off the defender, and it's put out for the throw in by Koussoulos.
That's what he does for you, and we're lucky that we've got him and John McGinn, who are both excellent at running with the ball. They carry the team forward. That pass to him there, he picks it up. He could have turned out, he could have looked for a pass, but he drives it 30 yards up the pitch. We now have a throw in line with their 18-yard line.
Scotland throw. Porteous is up to take, level with the Cyprus 18-yard line. Long throw possibly for Porteous. He's got Hickey as a short option, and he's going to bowl it into the penalty area, looking for McTominay. It's headed up into the air. The referee, I think, thought McTominay pushed Koussoulos, and that will be a free kick to Cyprus inside their own penalty area.
Yeah, I looked a foul. The throw was just a bit short for McTominay. I mean, nudge in the back.
This must be as comfortable an evening as Steve Clarke's had as Scotland manager.
Yeah, you would say so.
He's got the cigars out here.
He does, but he'll not admit that after the game, you know. And he'll not be too up, and he'll not be, you know, he'll just be like, kind of as he always is. He doesn't change.
Well, there's Castanos trying to change that state of mind. Cyprus on that right hand side, cross ball into the penalty area. Charalampous on the turn, just inside the D's, forced away by the Scotland defence. It's picked up by Castanos, looks up, right foot angle, ball in, and Robertson's there to shut the back door. And John McGinn with a header as he tries to carry it up the pitch. He's all over the defender, Caro, but Caro retains the ball and plays it infield to Leifis.
Excellent defending before the breakaway there by John from Robertson. It was a good ball into the box. He had to be in the right position. He was. And as much as he gives you going forward, Tierney as well, they're both top defenders as well.
Yeah, class operators all around the team in navy blue. Cyprus with it. It's a big switch of play out to that left hand, or from the left to the right by Roberge. Then moved into the midfield again. Koussoulos will roll it to Roberge once more. A short ball there to Kyriakou. He's barely been able to get on the ball, the Cyprus number 8 tonight. Kyriakou. And it's shuffled out to that right hand side for Caro. Played forward into the centre circle for Koussoulos. Forward it comes to Charalampous. He's under pressure from Hendry and being fouled by Hendry, says the Hungarian referee. And that is a free kick to the Cypriots with about a minute and a half of the first half still to play, plus stoppages.
I mean, I wonder if it's an opportunity for Steve Clarke in the second half to give players on the bench game time in a Scotland shirt. You know, there's players there that probably feel as though they deserve game time. I'd like to see Lewis Ferguson certainly be given an opportunity. You know, Nathan Patterson, he could bring on for Hickey. There's plenty of options there for him if he wants to make changes. Nisbet, of course, is there as well.
Yeah, we'll see. I would imagine we'll see Ferguson, Armstrong, McLean at some point. Christie. Ryan Christie scored a wonderful goal here, actually. It was his first international goal, in fact, against Cyprus and Nicosia almost 4 years ago. Scotland 3-0 up here live on Sportsound. Match day 5 for the Tartan Army here in European Championship qualifying Group A. What a fabulous first half it's been. As the long ball out to the near side is picked up by Hickey, who rolls it back to Porteous. When Scotland teams of the past have gone to the minnows and poorer teams than the Cyprus side, San Marino, Faroe Islands, they've often struggled to win the game. Not win the game, but to win these matches comprehensively, like they're doing right now.
Yeah, I was involved in one in Moldova, of course, and they aren't as easy as they look at times, but Scotland have made this look easy.
And here comes Cyprus, 1 minute of stoppage time added, we're into that. Cyprus have it at the edge of the box, seeing a lot of the ball just now. There's a shot at Gunn's goal, he holds on really well, as that was lashed at him at a reasonable rate of knots. It just flopped down onto it, but it's another opportunity for Castanos. He's had 3 pops at Angus Gunn's goal tonight.
Very similar to the one he had previously. Again, a good 20 yards out. Not quite the angle that's going to beat Angus Gunn, and he held on to it very well. Of course, I'm forgetting the Faroe Islands as well. Liam, I was involved in that one.
The 2-2 one.
Oh, aye.
Oh, lovely.
That was a nice journey home.
Couple of infamous trips. You can forget all about them with this current Scotland side and taking the Tartan Army on quite the trip here. Here's McTominay driving forward to the edge of the box. Going to get another one. His shot is deflected behind, and Scotland will get a corner. We've played the 1 minute of stoppage time, so it looks as though the referee's going to allow them the time to take this corner before he blows for the interval.
Again, McTominay doing what I've said he's been doing the whole match. There's been a lot of good performances from Scotland players in this opening 45 minutes, but he stood out for me. He really has.
And he got his goal as well.
He's maybe just so hungry to be playing, because you're not playing at your club, and he's been given the opportunity to go and play from the start in a match. You can see just how hungry he is to go and show people what he can do.
Looked like a move was going to have to happen for Scott McTominay. It ultimately didn't. Here comes the Billy Gilmour corner from the left-hand side with the right foot. It's flicked on by Porteous. Cyprus managed to bundle it away with plenty navy shirts lurking inside the 6-yard area. We're well into added time here. It's been added on top of the 1 minute, unless it was an error by the fourth official. There hasn't been many stoppages, but there have been 3 goals. We played 2 minutes and that's enough, says the ref. And it's half-time here. What a scoreline, and what a ride these Scotland players are taking the supporters on just now. It's quite astonishing, really, when you look at the table. You look at what Steve Clarke and his players are achieving here. They're 3-0 up at half-time in Larnaca, and they're making this look very simple. Yes, there's been a couple of opportunities for the Cypriots, and yes, Sotirio should have scored when he clattered one off the top of the bar and it went over for a goal kick. But by and large, Scotland have dealt with this game supremely well. Scoring early, of course, helps. Robertson with the ball in from the left, flicked on by McGinn. May have been going for a goal himself. Anyway, it dropped to McTominay, who bulleted it home for his 6th goal in this campaign. It's really incredible. He got 2 against the Cypriots in match day 1. He gets another tonight. Ryan Porteous adding a 2nd, John McGinn adding a 3rd. There could have been more. There may well be more for the Scotland supporters to enjoy here in the searing heat of Cyprus. We're at half-time in Larnaca on match day 5 for the group leading Scots. It is Cyprus 0, Scotland 3.
Scotland in the Euro 2024 qualifiers.
This is Sports Sound
from BBC Radio Scotland.
What a first 45 minutes for Scotland. Scott McTominay, of course, getting us up and running with his 7th international goal. 6 of them have come in this qualifying campaign, and he is joint top scorer in the Euro 2024 qualifying campaign right across the continent. He's got 6 alongside the Dane Rasmus Højlund and Romelu Lukaku. He's now scored more goals than Harry Kane, than Cristiano Ronaldo, than Kylian Mbappe, than Bukayo Saka, who are all on 4s or 5s. It's astonishing. Absolutely astonishing. Ryan Porteous made it 2. John McGinn made it 3. And his record is phenomenal. It's 17 international goals now. He's moved a couple clear of, from the olden days, Robert Hamilton. From the not-so-olden days, James McFadden. He's just 1 behind Kenny Miller, 2 behind Ali McCoist. And, Liam mentioned Kenny Dalglish as the top scorer, of course, joint top scorer along with Dennis Law, the two of them both getting 30 goals. If he gets past Miller and McCoist, there's only Hughie Gallagher and Laurie Riley between John McGinn and those record goal scorers for the country. It is astonishing. And Willie Miller, who was confident of a win but said he might settle for a draw, there'll be no such thoughts of settling for a draw anymore, eh?
Well, Richard, I think every one of us thought that it was going to be a tight affair. History kind of would reflect that as well, and it's been quite sensational. I mean, it's been a stroll in the park, hasn't it, really? I mean, we don't actually need a striker playing there. I mean, Jay Adams, I don't think he's been involved in the game that much, but you've got McTominay absolutely dominating the midfield, and his runs down that right hand side, quite sensational, the strength that he's got and the room that he's managed to occupy. You know, he can't stop scoring goals, McGinn can't stop scoring goals, and you've got a central defender coming up and popping up with one as well. It's been so easy. I mean, you could not have suggested that it was going to be, well, maybe some of the Scotland fans over in Cyprus would suggest that it was going to be easy, but you know, we couldn't have imagined what a good performance that Scotland have put in, how simple and easy the goals have been created. Now, there's been a lot of good work put into the goals, not taking anything away from them. I think there's been some poor defending as well. They've had a few shots in goal, but nothing too sensational. Hit the crossbar, although it might have been
the flag was
offside.
Up.
I think
the flag was up on the far side. And not for Saturio, but for the player in front of him, who either got a touch or certainly tried to get a touch, and the flag went up. So I don't think it would have stood.
I don't think so. One shot maybe by the post. So it's just been perfect. I mean, it seems to be. It's perfect just now. 12 looking like 15 points. If it finishes, and you can't see Cyprus really recovering from 3 goals down. They don't look as though their body language, I think, even tells you that they've almost given up the ghost. But I could not have sat here before the game and suggested that it was going to be 3-0 at half time. It was 3 after 30 minutes, I think.
Yes,
it was incredible scoreline. Full marks to the players, to the manager. Quite sensational start to this group section, and surely now we can say we have qualified. Obviously Steve Clark won't say it after the game, and he'll say that we can say whatever we want to say, but it's just been a perfect start, and I think qualification is there.
Some really good football. Craig Levine played during the 45 minutes as well.
Yeah, they've been clinical, I think, Richard. That would be the way I'd describe it. The system's worked really well in my eyes, because the two supporting Shea Adams, John McGinn and McTominay, have been brilliant. Yeah. And in the first goal, those two are supporting from a little bit deeper. They come into the box, one knocks it down for the other one to score. I mean, what else could you ask for? And they two have been a constant threat all evening to the Cypriots, and I mean,
Craig, I'm actually trying to spot Jay Adams when that cross comes into the box.
He's probably thought, well, they're in there and we're bound to score.
He took the throw in. It was Adams who took the throw in on the left.
That's why he's not there. Now, hey, maybe they work on that. You take the striker out and you allow these two to get forward. That would be an interesting question if that's a tactic. Certainly worked a treat there.
It was spontaneous. He just saw it was because Robertson took off. He saw Robertson's run, and that made his mind up, and he just launched it in behind for Robertson to cross. The cross was inch perfect. I don't think you can say that was an assist from John. I think he was definitely going for the goal himself. Oh, he'll get the assist, obviously, but I think he was going for goal. But you're right to point out the two, McTominay and McGinn. I think especially McTominay's energy levels and driving with the ball and getting up into the box. If you look at the amount of times where the ball's gone wide, he's in the box.
McGinn's goal is an assist by McTominay.
Yeah.
And
that's right. Yes.
So, I mean, those two have been sensational. And I don't know if they're not getting tracked by the midfield players, the Cypriot midfield players, but they just seem to be running anywhere at will. I mean, McTominay's carried the ball so many times in this half that he's gained 30, 40, 50 yards. He's been sensational. I mean, he started off at centre-back, then he was a deep-lying midfield player, and I think Steve's now found probably his best position. He's a real threat getting into that box late in the air, and also he's technically really good. A great bit of play on the right-hand side, pulls the ball back from McGinn, and John McGinn, without a back lift at all, he just fires the ball into the net. I mean, it's been beyond what we could all have possibly have hoped for, eh?
Yeah. In between those two, you've got Ryan Porteous getting his first international goal. Interesting, because Tomo was saying that he feared, and I must admit, I wondered as well. But actually, when you see the replays, Jack Henry somehow manages to jump like that with his arms down by his side, and isn't actually he makes it look as if he's leaning on the player, but he actually isn't. I'm not quite sure how he gets himself into that position. But I think the referee, I think the VAR quite correct. There's no foul there.
No, I didn't see the foul. I think it was Caro. It was a number 2, Richard. He does not make an effort to jump. It's really poor defending from him. So I didn't see. I know that. I think it looked as though perhaps he was climbing over the top, but he's just
from our angle.
Yeah, he's just jumped. He just jumped, and the defender hasn't made any attempt to get his feet off the ground at all. So I didn't think that it was in any way illegal. So no, it's been quite a sensational first half, isn't it? And I think Liam says it must be the most comfortable that the Scotland managers, certainly Steve Clarke, has felt in the first 45 minutes, and I would have to agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, these kind of games, well, for a long spell, these kind of games did not come around very often. I was thinking back, we get the odd one, you get the 4s or 5s. There were a couple of 6s against Gibraltar, wasn't there? You can all the way back to, 2015 for then. But, I mean, Cyprus are not, you're not talking about Cyprus being like, well, the kind of lowest of low. When I know Tom talked about the Faroe Islands. There have been spells, but they've been absolute minnows. San Marino, other teams. I mean, Cyprus aren't at that kind of level, but they just can't live with Scotland right now, can they?
No, they can't. And I think that is testament to how well Scotland are playing. I think they have been poor defensively, but that I think it's because of the way that Scotland are playing, and in particular the two players that we've been speaking about, McTominay and McGinn. They haven't tracked them, they haven't identified the danger that they possess, and I don't know why, because you just have to look at the stats and the amount of goals that they've scored, that you would think that they would make sure that they occupied the space in front of them, didn't allow. I mean, McTominay's just surging forward at every opportunity he gets. He goes by players with ease. He's been the standout. I know Tomo says that. I think we would agree that he's been the standout, and McGinn not far behind them. But you just don't expect to go to Cyprus, in these conditions. And
do you think, Willie, is there a possibility that teams are recognising that Scotland get 3-0 up against you? You're not coming back, are you? No, you're not coming back now.
No, I find it really difficult to break down. Scotland defence are well organised, they're getting back, even though there's 3-0 up. It's not as if there's maybe one occasion where they were really wide open down the left hand side that Cyprus could have taken advantage of, but other than that there's been plenty of bodies back. They've got a good shape. There's not much space to be exploited. I think watching them early in the game, we're speaking about it, they play a high line as well. They were pushing up and they were contracting the space in front of them, so it's not a case of them going back early and allowing Cyprus possession to play balls into the box. So it's been a very, very good defensive performance. It's been a very good all-round performance. I don't think that you could ask for much more, and I don't think Steve Clarke be asked, he'll maybe be hungry for another goal or two in the second half. It certainly would be possible the way Scotland are playing.
Do you just leave it be for now, maybe get to the hour mark, make a few changes then, or would you be tempted to give one or two players a rest in the second half?
Well, you have to probably look at all the players in an individual way. I mean, guys like McTominay could probably do with 90 minutes.
Yes.
He's not been playing, and maybe there are others that I don't know off the top of my head who those others might be, but and there might be some that he just wants to. They've played a lot of games, maybe been involved in Europe. Maybe Callum McGregor would be somebody who would fit into that category. Maybe he takes a bit of a rest later on in the game, or for the last half hour. So I'm sure he'll look at it and make the decisions based on what he thinks is right for each individual.
And I guess it might also be an area where he can address the issue that you guys were talking about earlier about giving players game time. You could give, a half an hour to the likes of Lewis Ferguson, for instance, who's not been given an opportunity.
Yeah, I would like to see that, because it'd be good if he can come in an environment where the team's winning, and he get to feel that feeling of dominance that they've got in this game. And if he's going to be involved in some of the upcoming really important matches, then at least he's had some time on the field and played with the lads even just for half an hour.
Yeah. Spain earlier won 7-1 in Georgia. Scotland have gone out and they have, all but matched the Spanish in terms of what they did in the first half. Spain were 4-0 up at half-time. Scotland are 3-0 up. It's McTominay, Porteous and McGinn who are all on target, and it is looking very much like it will be 3 more points for Steve Clarke and his side.
It's where we unite.
How beautiful for Scotland!
It's where we show our might.
Scotland attack!
It's where we go out to fight.
Try again for Scotland to seal this win!
Scotland on rugby's biggest stage. Every tackle and every try lives here.
Scotland on their day can beat anyone.
The Rugby World Cup, South Africa versus Scotland. Sunday from 4. Listen on digital radio or play BBC Radio Scotland Extra.
Yeah, live coverage of the Rugby World Cup, live coverage, of course, of the Scotland national team. In terms of football, we'll have that friendly against England next Tuesday. We've still got the second half to come from Larnaca. You can watch the highlights tonight of the game, and you'll certainly want to see them if you haven't done so so far this evening. 10:40, BBC One Scotland Sports Scene, with Scotland 3-0 up and hoping for more to come in the second half. Angus Gunn has played now 4.5 games in the campaign, conceded only the penalty, and he's had a couple of saves, nothing major to do this evening. We talked a lot about McTominay and McGinn, actually, and what they are doing from midfield, and McGregor. Have we seen as much as we might have been hoping of Billy Gilmore?
I don't really think that I think it's been a game where Scotland have been going forward. If the game would have panned out the way I expected it to pan out, and maybe Cyprus having more of the ball and a little bit more pressure, and we're having to control the game and maybe slow the game down a little bit, I think that's more his type of game. Craig, I don't know what you think, but I think because it's been pretty much all about McTominay in particular and his rampaging runs forward, that perhaps you haven't needed Billy Gilmore.
No, I was going to say that. I was going to say that it's not been required, really.
No.
Well, in actual fact, the players are back out. So, although, Craig, I know you've got so much more that you would like to share with us, we can
I'm not so sure, Richard.
head back to the commentary team of Stephen Thompson and Liam McLeod.
Double change for Cyprus at the start of the second half, hardly unsurprising. And bringing on Michalis Ioannou, who was sent off at Hampden for 2 bookings on match day 1. And Giannis Pitas, the striker, has come on as well. Thought he'd start the game, actually. He comes on for the second half. Cyprus kick off in the all-white with blue flashes. Scotland all navy blue. Cyprus going left to right as we watch from the main stand. Up high above Timuri Kitspaya's technical area, and the Cypriots are in possession. They've taken off Sotiriou, so Pitas replaces him, and Kasoulos is replaced by Ioannou. And it's Cyprus in possession immediately with Leifis out to this near side. It's moved on to Niu, and he gives it away. Robertson wins it back for Scotland, who are unchanged at the start of the second half as they go right to left, and that's going to break through to Joel Mal, the Cyprus goalkeeper, coming to the edge of his box. So Kitsbaya, obviously, Tomo just looking to shake things up, shake some life into his team. 3-0 down.
Yeah, he needs to try something, doesn't he? He needs to try and get a bit of life into his side. They certainly haven't defended well, but out with that, I don't think they've looked like a team who showed the right reaction to going down 3-0. And they're certainly lucky to be only at 3-0 at half time, and it's quite a doing.
And Pitas, who's come on, has a pretty decent goal scoring season last time around. 23 goals and 52 appearances for the two clubs he played for last season. He's at AIK in Sweden just now. As McGregor picks up for Scotland, rolls it out to Hickey, back to Porteous, who launches it high with the right foot into the Scotland fans over in the stand on the far side. And that will be a Cyprus throw, level with the edge of the centre circle. And bowled back the way into their own half and picked up there by the middleman at the back for the Cypriots. And Koussoulos into the midfield it goes, and then it's worked back there to Mal and Caro, the number 2 on this near side. Into the midfield it goes again. Scotland pick up with McTominay. Turn back to Porteous. He goes all the way back to Hendry, who in turn goes back to his keeper. And Gunn with a little short ball out to the left first time with the right foot to Tierney. Infield for Gilmour, who drops into the defensive area to collect the ball. Rolls it to Porteous. Rolls it under the right foot, clips it into the midfield. John McGinn tries to get under control. He does just that. There's a little look at Adams to see if he was in a position to make a run forward. He wasn't, so he finds Robertson. Now McGregor to Gilmour to Hendry, and he sweeps it out to Aaron Hickey wide on that right hand side. McTominay ahead of him. Turn back to Porteous. He in turn rolls it to Kieran Tierney. At his debut for Real Sociedad at the weekend, a 5-3 win over Granada. A big switch of play from him out to that right hand side, looking for his opposite number Hickey, but it's cut out there by Correa, who's taken a knock to the head, so he goes down and the referee stops play. Scotland leading 3-0 on 48.
Yeah, referee's right to stop the play. He goes down with the head knock. I don't think there's much in it from Aaron Hickey. Maybe a fraction late in the challenge. Certainly wasn't an arm used, I don't think, but maybe a shoulder maybe caught him. Getting a bit of treatment. Standing up now, will be fine.
Yeah, little break in play just now as he receives some attention over on the far side. They're going to have to get him off the pitch. He's at least back on his feet, is Correa. And they got his Cypriot passport in the summertime. He was able to play in the June window, earning his first couple of caps. The Anorthos's players off the pitch right now, and Cyprus down to 10. Long ball, Joel Mal right down the middle of the pitch. Hendry trying to win it back, it just evaded him. And Cyprus have it inside the centre circle for Castanos. Rolls it back the way to Caro. And he works the 1-2 with Kyriakou, who gets it back. The Apollon Limassol player. Back to Caro, who plays his football on the island of Crete with OFI in the Greek Super League. Scotland win it back though on the far side. McTominay to Gilmour, fires it forward to Adams. Good slide challenge though, just took it away from Che Adams. Kevin Nisbet is the striker option on the bench for Steve Clarke tonight. Lawrence Shanklin not stripped. Lyndon Dykes is there. Just wonder if he'll risk him this evening, given he hasn't seen much action at his club recently. Castanos goes down under pressure from Tierney, and that will be a Cyprus free kick just inside their own half. Scotland leading this game by 3-0 as Cyprus come forward. It slipped through towards Pitas, cut out though by Hendry.
Not really going yet this second half from a Scotland point of view. It's a difficult one when you're 3-0 up and you know the intensity isn't there to go and get a goal. You don't need to go and chase the game, so sometimes you can come off it a wee bit. I'm sure that would have been Steve Clarke's message at half time. Don't come off it, go and get more goals, but sometimes psychologically it's difficult to do.
And the temperature as well.
Yeah, it doesn't help.
Spending that energy, and then there's the 5-hour trip back to Glasgow. And that will be a Cyprus ball down in this near side. Kieran Tierney's having a little look at the referee. It's gone Scotland's way.
Yeah, offside.
Yeah. And Andy Robertson over the free kick, a bit level with the edge of the centre circle in his own half. He's going to leave it for Tierney. And it's difficult for the Cypriot players to mentally be ready for this second half, given they're so far behind. As Tierney waits to take this. Just thought about rolling it short to Gilmour. Instead he goes to his old Celtic teammate McGregor. And now with Hendry out to Porteous on that right hand side. To the right of the centre circle for Gilmour, back to Porteous, then back to Billy Gilmour. We get something going here. Gilmour forward to Adams, just doesn't stick with Che Adams. It's been that kind of night for him. Hickey trying to win it back at the edge of the Cyprus box, but eventually it's rolled back by one of the defenders to the goalkeeper, Mal, who plays it short there to Leifes.
Yeah, Adams just took a wee knock there as that ball came into him. It was a bit short for him. The defender maybe just caught his toe and he's limping a wee bit. It wouldn't surprise me if there was a change made up front. You're right, as much as he's been working hard, it's not really been Che Adams' evening in terms of his first touch being in.
There's Caro rolling it short for Charalampous. Short ball from him as well there to Leifes, takes it up towards halfway, turns it out to the left-hand side, where it's collected by Roberge. And back onto the halfway line, Charalampous picks up just inside his own half. The first time ball by Leifes out to Caro on this near side. 52 in the clock, 3-0 to Scotland. Cyprus in possession on this near side. Moving in field is Antoniou. Back to Leifes, into the centre circle it goes. And Cyprus enjoying some decent possession here. It's knocked out to this near side. Robertson prevents it though from getting through to Konstantinos Leifes. And then it's cleared out on this near side as Antoniou looked to get in behind Andy Robertson. He couldn't break away from the Scotland skipper.
Well, he did well initially, Robertson, to cut the pass out, but then he was a wee bit slack with his pass into McGregor that allows the Cyprus player to go over and make the challenge. Kicked it straight out for a Scotland throw,
which will be taken by Tierney, midway inside his own half down on this near side. Looking for a bit of movement. There's some movement from Robertson, but Tierney's holding on to it. Eventually bowls it down the line, looking for Adams. Adams gets it onto the chest, but it's just nicked away from him there by one of the substitutes, Ianu, and out into the main stand. Scotland have a throw in. Now they're up to about midway into Cyprus territory. On the Scotland left as they attack the goal to the left. It's with Tierney back to Hendry inside his own half. Thought about switching it out to the right. Instead he passes it forward to McGregor. Out to Tierney on the left, just on the halfway line. Moves in field, right foot ball there for Adams. First time back into the feet of McTominay. Now he's driving forward as he loves to do. Option to the right and Hickey checks his run, finds Gilmour instead. Back out to McTominay. It's away from his man, passes it back to Gilmour. Hickey's down the line. Gilmour eventually does that, rolls it to the Brentford defender, and then out of play off the defender for a Scotland throw-in. Over on the far side. He's just a really exciting player to watch, Scott McTominay, the Scotland team. The way he just drives the team forward.
Yeah, it really suits this position in the team. It really does. I think that's evident with his goal return in this campaign, but out with his goals, it's a constant threat.
And he's been outstanding in this campaign. 6 goals in 5 appearances.
It's just really been a wee bit stop-start. 10 minutes almost into this second half and not really got going again, Scotland.
Yeah, Cyprus are knocking it about with a bit of confidence just now, and that shouldn't be happening when you look at the scoreboard.
No, it shouldn't. And as I said, when you're 3-0 up, sometimes you can just subconsciously take the intensity out of the game.
That's when changes come into it, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
he
I think
looks to his bench.
I think he will be looking at that at this very minute, because you can see, or we can see, and he'll know that himself, that it has gone a wee bit flat.
John McGinn in the score sheet again tonight. Scored the last time Scotland were in Cyprus. It was he and Christie got the goals. Scotland 3 up, and McGinn on the ball, getting it from McTominay, facing the box, rolls it to the left for Robertson. First time ball across, comes to the back post for McTominay, who can't quite get what he wanted onto it as he slides it behind. Under pressure for the goal kick. Che Adams was in the middle of the goal
so
there,
close to it.
and it's just evaded him.
Yeah, he kind of opts not to slide. If he'd just gone with a big slide early doors, he might have got a toenail to it, but the ball from John McGinn out to Robertson's excellent. Again, Robertson showing that energy down the left-hand side. His crossing is just superb. Right across the face of the goal. Again, Che Adams inches from it, and then at the back post, couldn't quite turn it round.
Cyprus in possession inside their own box, decided to play it short from the subsequent goal kick to that McTominay opportunity. Long ball from them forward. Porteous gets his head onto it, finds Tierney. First time ball back to his keeper. Angus Gunn a little bit short. Now to Porteous, who is brought crashing to the ground, and the yellow card's out there for Ianis Pitas, the striker, who brought Porteous crashing to the turf.
Well, Porteous deserves a wee apology from Angus Gunn here, because that was a hospital pass that he gave him, really short with the ball, and Porteous had to make the challenge, had to try and clear it. The striker's got every right to go in for it. You think you're going to win it in that situation, but caught Porteous a wee bit late. Thankfully he's back up, doesn't need any medical attention.
Yeah, he's okay. Free kick Scotland, Gilmore to take, short to Porteous and back to Gilmore. Rolls it with his side foot to Hickey. He's got McTominay running ahead of him, can't find him though with the pass. Cyprus have it back, Roberge to the midfield, Castanos is playing it short to Charalampos, but Hickey spots it and drives forward down that far side. Just ran out of pitch though, he's put it over the line, and Cyprus have a throw in a bit level with the edge of the centre circle in their own territory. Ball back to Roberge, infield to Leifes, and out to this near side for Caro. Not much in the game in this second half, but Scotland with the 3-0 lead given to them by the goals from McTominay, Porteous and McGinn in the first half. Porteous with his first international goal, and it's a year since he put in that fabulous performance in his debut against Ukraine in Krakow that sealed promotion to Nations League A for that tournament, which gets underway next year. Scotland in with the big boys, and they're going to be testing themselves against the big boys in their next 3 fixtures, next 3 games for the Scotland team, and then we'll know where they are when it comes to taking them on. It's England, Spain and France.
Great games to have though, really good games to have to test yourself against the top nations.
Castanos for Cyprus with his back to goal in the Scotland box, got onto the chip ball towards him. Tierney wins it back at the edge of the area for Scotland. Tierney rolls it forward to Adams, to Gilmore, to McGinn. Wonderful triangle of passes completed there as McGinn elects to go back the way to Robertson. Robertson driving it across to the right hand side for Hickey. He's under no pressure. Hickey on the ball here, short to McTominay. Robertson's made an attacking move forward towards the Cyprus box. Adams and McGinn in there too. Comes to McTominay at the byline. Right foot clips it deep towards the back post. Robertson can't get there and he's fouled his man. And that'll be a free kick to Cyprus inside their own penalty area as we move to within an hour or a minute of the hour mark here in Larnaca. Cyprus 0, Scotland 3.
Excellent build-up play from Scotland. Started deep in their own half, ends up out the right-hand side with another good run from McTominay. His cross was always going to be difficult for Andy Robertson to win the header at the back post. Centre half is much bigger than him at the back post. It was a full low-tay cross and he was never favourite to win it.
It's looking like 9 wins out of 9 for Scotland against Cyprus. 5 wins out of 5 at the start of this qualifying section, and 11 successive group qualifier victories, which is a magnificent statistic for Steve Clarke to hang his hat on. The longest serving Scotland manager by games played since Craig Brown now, Steve Clarke. As Hickey bowls it onto the chest of McTominay, down by the byline. McTominay holding it up. 2 around him. Still it's McTominay, fouled. Free kick Scotland over on the touchline. Level with the Cypriot 6-yard line. There's another card coming out. It's away over on the far side. I'm not exactly sure who it was who was the offender, but he's getting a proper lesson from the referee. It was Valentin Roberge. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I mean, McTominay was just toying with him and the other defender there over in that corner, just keeping the ball off them. And then he just lost his temper, did Roberge. Clear foul right in front of the linesman as well. It's a great opportunity for Scotland in swinger.
Oh, too right. Well, plenty candidates to take these kind of set plays in the team. It's going to be the captain, Andy Robertson, to deliver. It's almost bang on the touchline over there on the far side. Into the box it comes. McTominay has a swipe at it as it breaks to the edge of the area for McGregor, who shoots straight at the keeper. And it'll stay Cyprus 0, Scotland 3. We played an hour in Larnaca.
Wasn't the best ball in from Andy Robertson, a bit low, a bit flat. Manages to kind of ricochet and work its way out to the edge of the box. McGregor hits reasonably well, but straight at the goalkeeper, Mal.
Cyprus come forward. Chance for them to launch an attack here. It's a good drive and run by Ianu. He's got it back here, looks up at the Scotland goal, thought about the shot, lays it short to Castanos on the turn. He's on his left hand side, moves back to the right and eventually passes it back the way to Caro. who in turn plays it into the centre circle for Leifis. It's now with Roberge. Forward it comes out to that far side again. Hickey reads the pass. He does that so often as that was moved out towards Kyriakou. They have managed to win it back, Cyprus, and it's Kyriakou driving down the left-hand side. Encouraged by the supporters as he's fouled by Gilmore. Free kick Cyprus. And it's almost level with the Scotland 18-yard line over on the left-hand side of the box.
Yeah, just a wee bit untidy from Scotland over on that right-hand side. Couldn't work the ball out of defence, and eventually giving away a cheap foul. A good opportunity for Cyprus, similar to the one we had just minutes ago, to put the ball right in on top of Angus Gunn here.
It's now 11:05 local time. I think it was about 11:30 the Georgia game finished, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Last time out. Cyprus free kick here in an attacking position. It's to the left of the Scotland box. Right footed into the area it comes. Cut out by Robertson. And McGregor just dinks it away. Charalampous picks up the loose ball for the Cypriots. And it's played out to the left hand side again. And Kyriakou. Short ball. Robertson trying to face Castanos, who jinks away from him. He's at the edge of the area. Shoots at Gunn again. And similar outcome. A shot on target, but held fairly comfortably by Angus Gunn, and it stays Cyprus 0, Scotland 3.
Yeah, that's really all they've had is Castanos' shots from 20 yards out when he does manage to find that kind of pocket of space, if you like, straight at Angus Gunn again. Good hands from him. He's had 4 to deal with and he's kept them all very clean.
He plays for Salernitana in Italy, but he was once on the books of Juventus, and he did make a first team appearance for them. As McGregor dinks it forward, looking for Adams, battling with the defender, looking for the break of the ball, but it actually favours Leifis, and he's able to get back to his keeper, and Mal knocks it forward up towards halfway. Gilmore back into his own half for Hendry. Those 3 first half goals look as though they're going to produce 3 more points for the Scotland team to take home with them. 15 points out of 15 in Euro 2024 qualifying Group A. A frankly astonishing outcome from the first 5 games.
It sounds even stranger when you say it, Liam, out loud. It's incredible. It really is incredible.
Kieran Tierney on this near side to Robertson. Multiple times 15 points has been enough to qualify. Still have 3 games to go. Robertson wins it back brilliantly against Castanos.
Good
Stanos is driving towards the Scotland goal. Robertson slides in, perfect tackle, and now it's with Hickey out to the right hand side for McTominay. Infield to Robertson, back to McTominay. He and Robertson exchange passes, then McTominay flashes it back to Andy Robertson, who'll switch the play out to the left for Gilmore. Tierney in support, short to Kieran Tierney. Scotland add to their already comfortable lead. It looks as though there's some movement on the Scotland bench, so substitutions will be happening imminently.
Yeah, it's no surprise. The second half hasn't got going from a Scotland point of view. It doesn't need to, but an injection of energy and fresh faces might just help them.
Kenny McLean and Lyndon Dykes, by the looks of things. Dykes will get some action. Tierney forward to Adams, and back to Robertson. Still around about the halfway line. He goes back to Tierney inside his own half, and he goes back to Hendry. Almost done 65 minutes in Larnaca. Cyprus 0, Scotland 3. Coverage to come on Tuesday of Scotland-England in that anniversary friendly at Hampden. That will be on Sportsound on Tuesday evening next week. Before that, Challenge Cup action tomorrow. Commentary comes from Dundee United, Dunfermline. There's 13 ties being played tomorrow. Sportsound will be covering those. And Scotland up against the Springboks in their opening World Cup match on Sunday in France. The Rugby World Cup underway tonight. Full coverage on Sportsound on Sunday. Scotland trying to get out of their defensive third here. Gilmore putting pressure on Castanos. It's worked out to that left-hand side, and comes the cross, diving headed away by Porteous, and out for a Cyprus throw-in over on the far side. And now the changes will be made. Double change. The hero of Oslo, Kenny McLean, will come on to replace Gilmore, and I would imagine Dykes for Adams will be the other change.
Yeah, it will be. It's been a frustrating night for Che Adams. He'd love to get a goal. He's not really had that many sniffs. 1.5 chance, probably should have shot earlier. Billy Gilmour's put a shift in, done well enough.
It's going to be interesting, isn't it, to see what Steve Clarke's starting 11 is for the England match on Tuesday. Does he just stick with the team that served him so well in these qualifying matches, or does he try and mix things up, knowing it's just a friendly, but also bearing in mind who the opposition are,
yes,
and what an expectant right. Hampden Park would be wanting to see?
It's a kind of hard one to call, that, Liam. You wonder whether he would give opportunities to players that have maybe not had as much game time under him, given that it is a friendly. However, he doesn't normally really deviate from the team that he picks. Is usually his strongest sort of side, maybe one change here and there, but never really ever seen him make wholesale changes for a game.
It's appointed as well that Off the Ball's on tonight, 10:30 this evening, once Sports Sound's done, once we get the post-match reaction from here in Larnaca, where Scotland lead this game 3-0 into the final quarter, just about. Joel Mal, the goalkeeper, under pressure. Long ball down this near side, stays in play. Scotland have it with McGregor, onto the head of McLean, back to McGregor. Charalampous gets between the man and the ball and wins it back for the home team. And then it's rolled back by Caro to his goalkeeper. And he shifts it to Roberge, who picks up and then plays it back infield to Leifes. Short to Caro on the right hand side, and then he switches the play out to the left for Roberge. We've got a runner in Castanos, who's annoyed the long ball in behind the Scotland defence didn't arrive.
Should have gone to him, made a great run.
So Scotland making that double change. McLean on, Dykes on. Look to finish this match strongly, and they've won it back in the midfield here. McTominay. Porteous stepped up, and now it's McGinn, right of the centre circle, finds McLean to McTominay. Support from Robertson to his left. Infield to McLean, back to Robertson, and then Tierney. I mean, they just look so comfortable.
They do. The second half hasn't really been a spectacle in terms of, you know, for viewers, a game of football. There's not been very many chances.
It's not been a good game in the second half at all, no.
No, but again, we don't need to do anything. It's Cyprus that need to do everything to try and get back in the game. Yep. We're under no pressure to up the tempo or to be more aggressive in the getting numbers forward at least. So we're more than happy to see out the game like this. But yeah, from a viewing point of view, it's not quite been the same.
John McGinn, though, right hand side of the box, he's an option, and Hickey uses him on the overlap. Hickey smashes it across, and Joel Mal holds on low at his near post. And it will remain Cyprus 0, Scotland 3.
Yeah, he was under pressure. Hickey right to the byline, running at full speed. Gets good connection with the ball, but had to be cut back a good 6 feet more than it was, and comfortable stop in the end for Mal.
So late in the evening, the Scotland fans will be hoping there's some open late tavernas tonight.
I think they'll have bought their carry-outs already, Liam. I think so. They've probably been on it since 11 o'clock this morning anyway, so it might be time to just go to bed before they travel home tomorrow.
It's a long day in the sunshine.
It is.
Free kick Scotland, right of the centre circle. John McGinn over it. Charalampous wasn't getting out of his way. In the end, it's McGregor who takes it. He plays it to the right for Hickey. Heading towards the final 20 here. Porteous goes back to Hendry. To McGregor, to Hendry. First time to his left for Tierney. Tierney on the turn. Back facing his own goal. Slips it in field to McGregor. Just inside the centre circle, it is the Celtic captain. Forward to McLean. And back to Hendry and out to Porteous. Infield to McGregor, then back to Ryan Porteous again. They're just happy knocking it around right now.
Yeah, just keeping possession.
Jack Hendry short to Tierney. Tierney forward to McTominay. McTominay's got Robertson ahead of him. He's also got Kenny McLean in support. It's rolled to Kenny McLean. Left ball with the 18. Now he's level with the penalty spot. Short left foot ball infield to Robertson. Back to McLean. Infield to Robertson again and back to Tierney. Tierney infield to McGregor. McGregor then with the left foot. Rolls it low out to McLean. Takes a touch, then crosses the ball in. It's a good one as well. Dykes goes to attack it. The defender gets there first though. And they're able to bundle it clear through Caro. Tierney plays it forward again. Dykes, nobody near him for a second there. Slips it to his left for Robertson across the face of goal. And it will go out of play on the far side, but I think the flag's gone up anyway. And that will be a Cyprus ball. 71 played, Cyprus 0, Scotland 3.
Maybe just a wee indication there of Lyndon Dykes not being quite up to max speed, because when he received that ball, he was in acres of space at the edge of the 18, and normally you'd see him drive in and get a shot off, but it wasn't his first thought. Lays it into Robertson, who flashed that across the face. McTominay again busting himself to get in there, tried to get another goal, but ultimately offside in the end.
Yeah, McTominay's goal stats are up there with some of the best strikers in the European qualifiers. Absolutely outstanding. 6 in 5 matches, 7 all told for his country now. It's back with Joel Mal, who plays it short to the left for Roberge. Infield, it goes to Leifis, then out to the right for Caro. It's not been played at a great pace, has to be said. Cyprus don't look as though they're interested in getting back into this game. Castanos perhaps accepted.
Maybe because it's 11 o'clock at night, Liam.
Well, there's that.
Something to do with it.
There is Porteous, back to Hendry. And then short to his left for Tierney. Tierney then goes back to Jack Hendry. And then to Gunn. Desperate for another clean sheet. It'll be 4 in 5 for him since coming in as Scotland number 1. Gunn gets it back, first time with the right foot. That's going to go out for a throw-in over on that far side.
Didn't go out.
Stayed in.
Yep.
Yeah, it did. So Cyprus have it, and it's Leifis short to his right, and it's Caro to Kyriakou in the midfield, under pressure from Tierney. Kyriakou looking for an option ahead. He's asking too much of Pitas. Gunn comes out of his box, and it's a little nonchalant cushion header to Robertson, who finds McLean, and now Tierney. Tierney steps back. Kyriakou's gone down. Nowhere near the ball, so I think he's looking for the referee to stop the game, but the ref's letting it go. It's head knocks. That's when you stop the game.
Yeah.
And obviously, if someone suffered clearly a serious ailment, as Hickey picks up, rolls it back to McGregor, then into his own half for Porteous. Porteous then to the left of the centre circle for McTominay. McTominay and Robertson on the touchline, goes back in field to McGregor, and then out to the right for Hickey. McGinn makes the move ahead of him. Hickey passing it to McGinn. McGinn on the turn on that right hand side up against Correa. Short ball to Hickey. Passes it to McGregor. Squares it infield for McLean, who sweeps it to Tierney. Rolls it to the left of the box here for Robertson. Infield to McTominay. It's left of the D. Tried to squeeze it through to Dykes. Comes off the defender. Does find Dykes. Now Robertson. McTominay! Oh, it's off the post! Fabulous effort. He's done everything right there. It bent round the goalkeeper and bounced back off the goal frame when it looked as though it was going to nestle in the net for his latest goal for his country. It stays Cyprus 0, Scotland 3 on 74.5.
He's so unlucky. He really is. It's a brilliant effort. Curled it right past the goalkeeper, thinking it's going to nestle in the bottom corner. Comes back off the frame of the post. But the build-up to that actual eventual shot was brilliant from Scotland. 20-pass build-up leading to that shot from McTominay. Finally something to talk about in this second half, Liam.
That's as close, I think, as Scotland have gone to scoring another one in this second half. It's back with Joel Mal, who clips it forward. Underneath it is Castanos. Robertson gets between the man and the ball and manages to find McLean as well, who goes back into his own half for Tierney. Short to Kenny McLean. Took that goal in Oslo just fabulously well, and his weaker foot as well, and he's just been sent crashing to the ground there, and it's a free kick, and it's surely going to be a yellow card as well for Michaelis Iyanu, who was sent off at Hampden for 2 bookings on match day 1.
Yeah, I mean, he was right through the back.
I don't think he's been hit, does he?
No, I mean, I wonder whether he thinks he got a bit of the ball, but he comes way through the player. It's a really dangerous tackle. Kenny McLean thankfully back up on his feet, but yeah, it was not a pretty challenge, that's for sure.
Cyprus are going to make a change shortly. It's scissors, isn't it?
Yeah.
You see replays of it. Cyprus going to make a change. Familiar face, Alex Gogic of St Mirren. There's going to be a double change.
Not sure a centre half's what they're requiring right now, Cyprus, but
He can play in the midfield as well, obviously, can't he? As Robertson takes the free kick, bends it into the box, flicked away, breaks them again at the edge of the area. He catches it on the volley, but it goes over the bar, and it will remain 3-0 to the Scots on 76.
Yeah, that would have been good if it had gone in. Really difficult skill for John there, catching that on the volley as it was dropping out there, a good 30 yards out. He has scored one like that before for Villa a few seasons ago.
Oh yeah, I think that was his first goal for Villa, wasn't it, against Sheffield Wednesday?
It was an outrageous
goal.
In
the Championship.
Yeah, but didn't quite execute it the same there.
Cyprus in possession, long ball with the left foot up to this near side. Robertson wins the header ahead of Kyriakou, and McLean goes back to Tierney. Tierney stepping out to this near side, rolls it forward to Dykes in the halfway line. Moves it back to Porteous. Porteous forward to the right of the centre circle, it's with McGinn. McGinn then short ball to McGregor, left footed, out to Hickey, wide on that right hand side. And Aaron Hickey just looks such a confident player, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's never flustered.
No wonder. What an escalation he has enjoyed in his career. And Craig back in the studio had him at Hearts, started him in that Scottish Cup final at the age of 16. Now an English Premier League regular with Brentford. And some previously unfashionable teams doing really well in the top flight in England just now. Billy Gilmour's Brighton, another who've enjoyed things in Bournemouth in their first spell in the top flight down there, were top half of the table as well. So Ryan Christie, part of the Bournemouth setup just now. Wonder if we'll see him at some point. Two subs waiting to come on for Cyprus down below us. Stelios Andreou and Alex Gogic are waiting to come on.
They've been waiting a while.
Yeah, well, they're both. They could both play centre half, these two. And Andrew plays for Charleroi in Belgium. He's only 21. He's going to be on for his 11th cap, and Gogic will be coming on shortly as well, and it will be his 40th. His 40th?
40th.
I've lost him in front of me. I'll get you that when he comes on. Here's Porteous. Infield to Tierney. Kieran Tierney forward, low ball to McLean. Heading towards the final 10 here. Here's John McGinn on the halfway line, right to the circle, finds McLean. And McLean looking for a teammate, eventually settles for playing it out wide right for Hickey. Hickey goes back to McLean, and then into his own half for Porteous. Porteous then switches the play from right to left of the circle for Tierney, forward to Dykes. Bit more purpose in this move for the Scots. Here comes Dykes, forward, goes down. No foul though. Cyprus pinch it back, and it's Caro playing it forward down this near side for Kyriakou. He's under pressure from Robertson. Tierney there eventually hits the deck, and it's a free kick to Cyprus, and they will now make their double change, Tomo.
Yeah, Kyriakou a bit lucky there to win the foul. Didn't think it was a foul. He's coming off. Kyriakou's coming off. That's his last act.
Yeah, on comes Gogic, so he's going into midfield.
He's going into midfield, yeah.
He's doing so well at the back for St Mirren. He's on for his 22nd cap.
22nd? You were close to 40 then.
I was looking at the wrong player.
It's not like you.
And Andrew comes on as well. Kyriakou looks like a pretty forlorn figure making his way to the dugout.
Yeah, I mean, the second half's been slightly better in terms of defensively for Cyprus, but they haven't offered a threat at all.
It's been a tepid second half, but it doesn't matter for Scotland. They're 3-0 up, and they're cruising to victory here. Cruise control, that's what this is.
Yeah.
We get 80 minutes.
Pretty much, Liam. Yeah, I would agree with that. The old autopilot's been switched on, and to be fair, you know, as I said earlier, they don't need to go and chase this game. It was all about Cyprus, what they had to do. They've offered nothing to the game at all. And the game was won. The job was done in the first half.
Cyprus off to Spain next week, but the game you want to keep your eye on Tuesday, apart from Scotland, England at Hampden, is the one at the Ullaval in Oslo. Norway taking on Georgia. Scotland are going to win this game quite clearly, and because Spain thrashed the Georgians 7-1 in Tbilisi earlier on, all that means that if that game in Oslo on Tuesday is a draw, Scotland will have officially qualified for Euro 2024.
And there's a right good chance it could be a draw, Liam. I mean, you would think, you know, Georgia, a decent enough team. Norway haven't been going well at all. A draw would be kind of not a big surprise to me. Wouldn't that be nice to qualify without having to play?
Incredible. And then they can focus on trying to win the group, which is superb. A great place to be in. Already on the head-to-head, got a 2-0 lead over Spain. We go to Seville in their next qualifier. Obviously, that's going to be hugely difficult. Since Spain lost at Hampden, they've gone on to win the Nations League finals in the Netherlands, and I'm saying they're sticking 7 past Georgia.
Yeah, they look as though they've
tonight.
picked up a bit. I mean, and that was the one thing you would have said about the Spain game, the first game against us, that certainly they didn't look that much of a goal threat. You're expecting more from them in forward areas, but they certainly seem to have fixed that.
Well, we look forward to that one. As Cyprus clear their lines at the edge of the box. Into the midfield, it's flicked on. Pitas is going to give chase. Hendry was a little slow to react. Pitas is into the box. He shoots, saved by Gunn. Good save, strong wrist, but the flag goes up.
Honestly,
in the end, so he was offside. Hence Jack Hendry's hesitancy.
It was miles offside, and the lines was right in line with it. I mean, I don't know how many times
they've got to let it play.
I know. I don't know how many times I've said it. I mean, it's getting boring now, but it really is such an annoying rule. But Hendry actually shouldn't stop. Regardless if he knows it's off or not, he's got to at least get back goal side, and he'll know that as a defender, as a centre half. You never ever take the chance.
Closing stages of match day 5 for Scotland in qualifying Group A. Double change coming up once again. Stuart Armstrong and Nathan Patterson are next on, and John McGinn comes off, having notched another one as he targets Dalglish and Law at the top of the scoring charts. He's moving towards Kenny Miller, and Ali McCoy still be his next targets.
Yeah, he's in a quieter second half. John had a really good first half, got his goal, he'll be delighted with that.
On comes Patterson for Hickey. And Cyprus are going to make their final change as well.
It's going to be an interesting battle that over the next 10 years or so, that right wing back or right side position, because they're both good players playing at a very good level. And Aaron Hickey's got the shirt just now. He's done nothing wrong, so he'll remain in charge of the shirt, but Patterson will be hoping to push him all the way.
Yeah, it's difficult to split them, isn't it? They're both outstanding.
Yeah.
We've got that strength on the right as well as the left, because it was we always knew how strong Scotland were on the left hand side as Tierney goes down.
Yeah, he does not look very comfortable on the ground. Got to hope this is not bad.
Yeah, he's taking a sore one. He's left of the centre circle, Kieran Tierney. He's sitting back up now, so hopefully he's okay. And it's a yellow card that's been shown at Ianu, and he should have been booked for the challenge on Kenny McLean earlier, so he should be off again.
Tierney's up, right. That's good news.
Yeah, he's okay. So 3-0 to Scotland, 84 minutes played here in Larnaca. It has been a walk in the park for Scotland. As Hendry goes back to Gunn. All the goals coming in the first half. McTominay opening the scoring early on, set the tone. And then Porteous and McGinn adding to that early strike. Long from Porteous up towards the centre circle. It's Gogic with a header forward, picked up by Pitas. His pass forward, or control, was poor. Goes straight to Tierney. He returns it to his goalkeeper, and Gunn plays it out towards Robertson, who can't get onto it. Now for a Cyprus throw-in on this near side. He's had an excellent season, Gogic. His last appearance here, though, he gave the ball straight to the Georgians, who took advantage and scored off the mistake. He started it in the middle centre-back position in that game.
Well, he's definitely been one of St Mirren's best players so far this season. Excellent he's been.
Not many failures at that club just now. It's Porteous with a challenge, no foul, and Pitas is the ref, who was in a good position. McLean picks up and rolls it to Patterson on the right-hand side. Final 5 minutes here. As Patterson is forced back towards his own byline, but he does really well. Gets it to Porteous, but then loses out as it was returned to him. He was still in a dangerous position. And it's Castanos trying to win it back again, as Porteous and Patterson managed to regain possession for Scotland momentarily, but it's gone out for a Cyprus throw-in, level with the Scotland 6.
Yeah, he had no options in front of him there, Patterson, none at all. Had to turn back and eventually was caught on the ball.
Long throw into the box. Porteous was fouled though by the sub Kakulio, who came on just a couple of minutes ago. And Scotland have a free kick, and this game's just petering out.
Oh, it's been petering out for the last 35 minutes.
Here's Gunn to take this free kick. Short to Hendry. We'll get you all the post-match reaction from here in Larnaca once the match is over. On air Sports Sound till about 10:30 before off the ball, as Dykes tries to win it in the Cyprus half towards the final third, and he wins the throw-in at least. Robertson taking it quickly, looking for McTominay, cut out though by Andrew. And he puts it out for a Scotland throw-in about level with the Cyprus 6-yard line.
Yeah, just seen out the last couple of minutes here, Liam. Don't there'll be much time added on. I can't think of, mind you, maybe the substitutes nowadays. You never really know, do you? Probably end up being a good 6-7 minutes.
There's not been any VAR interventions really, apart from the obvious checks they've been chuntering away in the background. As Armstrong slips it out to Patterson on that right-hand side. Stuart Armstrong's been a regular for Southampton this season. Who's back in the Championship. He gets him from Patterson, who's made that right-back berth his own at Everton. It's now with Tierney on this near side. Tierney turns it back into his own half for Hendry. There haven't been too many nervy moments tonight.
No.
Angus Gunn's had a few saves to make, and he's done well.
Shots.
He's desperate to keep his clean sheet.
Yeah, long distance shots, Liam, from 20 yards that were never really tested him. There was one that whistled past his post. Had it been in target, it may have gone in, but obviously then you've got the shot off the bar that I didn't realise the guys I've seen in the studio might have been offside anyway.
The chase is on down the left for Cyprus, but they overhit the pass and Patterson sees it behind for the goal kick, which Gunn will take. It must be great for these guys down there to be part of this squad right now. They are churning out win after win.
Yeah.
McTominay's strong, really good play by Scott McTominay as he held off the defender, but Lifeface comes to help out Carroll. He'll roll it back to the edge of his own box. And then Roberts finds Lifeface back to Roberts at the edge of his own box. And out to that left-hand side. He goes for the Cypriots. Correa with the long ball forward, but cut out by Porteous. Now Patterson looks up, long looking for McTominay. Takes it down in behind the defender, but it just gets away from him. He was offside.
Miles off.
In any case, as we move towards minute 90 here in Larnaca, Cyprus 0, Scotland 3.
I'll not be that disappointed when this game ends. I have to say the second half's not really kept me on the edge of my
terrible.
Not on the edge of my seat, Liam. I'll replay it as I'm trying to get to sleep back at the team, back at the hotel.
It's been terrible, but who cares?
I know. Listen, it's all about, and you've come away to an away venue. All right, I was expecting us to win the game. We got the job done in the first half. Second half was always going to be one of those where it's either stays the same or we go on and win it 5-0. You know, and it's unfortunately for us watching it, it's gone the other way. But no, I suppose in summary, it's been a great night for Scotland, so who cares what the second half was like.
Scott McTominay coming off, the Scotland supporters giving him a warm round of applause as Ryan Christie comes on to replace him. Another excellent performance by McTominay, particularly in that second half. He's such a threat.
First half, yeah, first half.
The first half, yeah.
Yeah, it was outstanding. It really was. Best player in the first half.
Ryan Christie on for his 40th cap. As Tierney picks up on the near side, deep inside his own half. McLean picks up at the edge of the box, back to Hendry, now to Porteous. 3 minutes have been added on at the end. And the Scotland players and supporters will be able to celebrate yet another win. As Porteous plays it short to Callum McGregor. Out to the right for Stuart Armstrong. Down the touchline he goes, infield to Christie. And Correa will win it back for Cyprus, takes it into his own box, short to Lifeface, forward to Gogic, who steps away from McLean. Gogic out to that left-hand side, picked up by Kakulio, and then out for a throw-in to Cyprus, about level with the edge of the centre circle in the Scotland half. It's knocked back the way to Correa, and then infield to Roberts. Now Lifeface just outside the centre circle. He walks up towards Dykes and then passes it out to this near side. And it's picked up by Caro, and infield to Gogic. Back to Caro, and then back to his goalkeeper. And it will be slipped forward by Joel Mal to the left for Roberge. And Scotland fans singing they're going to Germany, and yes, they will be going to Germany. There's no way, surely, that there could be any kind of collapse that's going to see them not qualify for this tournament.
No, not for me, Liam. I think it's safe to say we'll be at the Euros next summer.
I mean, the only teams that can possibly threaten them are, well, Georgia getting beat 7-1 by Spain tonight. You know, that's going to be a difficult one for them to recover from. They go to Oslo next. Norway,
even if we don't win another game, I think 15 points
exactly.
is there anyway.
It's incredible.
But I do think that we will win another game regardless of that. So if we win one more game, that's us on 18. It's undeniably you're going in second place at that.
If it doesn't happen on Tuesday, as they're playing England in the friendly, it might happen in Spain next month. If it doesn't happen then, it could happen when they play France in the friendly. If it doesn't happen then, it could happen in Tbilisi. There's going to be multiple opportunities to qualify for this tournament now. We're in the final minute of 3 that were added. Scotland 3-0 up thanks to those 3 first half goals. Long ball forward attempt is cut out in the midfield by the Scots, and Cyprus have it with Gogic left of the centre circle. McLean trying to win it back off him, but Gogic driving forward up the edge of the box, slips it through. Chance here for Cyprus to pull one back. Brilliant backtracking there by Porteous. What a really good challenge it was, because it looked like Pitas was going to be in to score for Cyprus. It stays 3-0.
Phenomenal tackle from Ryan Porteous. It was brilliant play from Gogic, driving at the Scottish defence, plays a defence splitting pass. Really, Pitas should have got his shot off an hour before he even got it off, but it allowed Ryan Porteous the time to get back and make the challenge. Brilliant challenge, and keeps Angus Gunn's clean sheet record intact.
That's it, it's all over in Larnaca. The Scotland supporters celebrate a huge win, the latest huge win, the 5th win in a row at the start of Euro 2024 qualifying Group A. This phenomenal set of players are setting new records every time they step onto a pitch. And surely the Scots now have enough points in the bank in this section to qualify for next summer's European Championship finals in Germany. Surely now it's done. It's not done officially. That could be Tuesday. But goals here in the first half, early on from McTominay with a header. Then from Porteous with a close range finish, and John McGinn sweeping home from outside the box have been enough to defeat spirit-sapped Cypriot side, you have to say. Rock bottom for a reason in this section. Pointless for a reason in this section. But at the other end of the table, Scotland have moved on to 15 points. 14 was enough for Wales in Euro 2020 qualifying to finish second in their 5-team group. Scotland have already amassed more points than that with 3 games to spare. Another incredible win. It's 11 qualifying group wins in a row now. And they have backed up the 4 wins that took them to the summit of this section with another one tonight. The Scotland supporters singing "We'll be coming." They'll be going to Germany next summer, that is for sure. They just need to get over the line. One more positive result for them would be enough. They might not even need one, because if that game in Oslo on Tuesday between Norway and Georgia ends in a draw, Scotland will be through in 5 days' time. It finished here in the Eastern Med. Cyprus 0, Scotland 3.
On digital radio,
FM,
online at BBC Sports Scotland,
your smart speaker,
and on BBC Sounds.
This is Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
Off the